Hello YouTube, it is Champion DJK coming at you again with another video, and today we are going to take a look at some Majorette. Majorette is one of those kind of weirder brands, well, to us, let's just say to us here in the US, maybe it's a weirder brand, I don't know. Been around for a long time. I actually have some more here I forgot about. We're going to compare, it's one of those brands, okay, let's just say that has like changed a lot over the years and kind of like done quite a few different things, quite some interesting things, some not so interesting. They've really done quite a bit of different things, right? They're not like, they haven't had like a standardized like brand identity sort of throughout the years. They've changed quite a bit. You could kind of argue that Hot Wheels kind of has too. It's evolved over the years, and so has, you know, any diecast company really, I guess, but Majorette, like in general, like different way that they put together cars, all sorts of different stuff. It's kind of a weird brand with a lot of different little varieties and oddities to it. So I've got some different stuff to look at. So we've got some stuff that you could find on the pegs today to look at. And maybe we'll actually start with two of those. So we've got, these have been showing up at Walmart. Now this is the, according to this, Majorette first ever. So the first ever Majorette casting. So Majorette apparently started in 1964, so it predates Hot Wheels. After Matchbox, but it predates Hot Wheels, which is kind of interesting. I did not know that. In the U.S., these are imported by Jada Toys. So Jada Toys imports Majorette. You can find them at Walmart, typically, is where you can find them. Sometimes the Pink Slip series from them you'll find at Target, or were able to at one point anyway. But I get excited, actually, for some new Majorette stuff when it comes out. I got these a while ago. I only picked, now these came out in 6 different colors. I picked up 2 of them. Not really my cup of tea, but we're going to go ahead and open them up. I fear that these are going to be, this particular release is going to be peg warmer for a long time, but that's okay, I guess. It's kind of cool. It's like an old Formula 1 car, very old classic race car. These come with a box, which is great. I love a box. Awesome for storage and all that jazz. But here it is, kind of in Ferrari-ish colors. We got it in a red. It is plastic base, metal body, and it is rubber tires, and it does roll. So this is supposed to be a replica, I suppose, of the first Majorette tooling or car that was ever put out. Pretty interesting, right? Or maybe it's not interesting to you, but it is kind of interesting to me. So I did pick it up in that sort of Ferrari-ish color, and then we went kind of, we'll just say kind of Lotus-ish color here for an old race car. I think typically those were like green, maybe Jaguar green, I don't know, British racing green, nonetheless, with red rims. So I picked that one up. They're the identical tooling. They are just different colors. That's all it is. So it is a recolor of that. Maybe not interesting to you. Maybe it is. I don't know. That is your decision or your opinion to have. I thought 2 of these were cool enough to grab. And like I said, they do roll quite well. So these will go in the Majorette collection. Quite nice. I do not have an original copy of the first ever from 1964 or whatever it said. Was it 64? But we have these 2. So kind of neat. So rubber tires. So nowadays at Walmart, like you're really seeing stuff with rubber tires, and it's coming in packaging like this, at least in the US. So this is Christy Lewis, and this is a Nissan Cifero A31. I have no idea who Christy Lewis is, but I thought the car was kind of cool, and it's supposed to be, I guess, kind of a race car, right, or something. I would imagine Christy Lewis is a, I'm not even going to comment. Maybe she's not a race car driver. Maybe she is. I mean, she looks like a race car driver. Apparently she's sponsored by Majorette, and I don't know what this car would actually race in. I'm not that intelligent when it comes to motorsport, so I can't quite comment. So this is more along the lines of your current Majorette, although this one does not have, oh, it does have an opening hood. Sometimes a lot of times they will have opening parts, and they will have what appears to be like an inserted headlight, even though usually it's part of the window piece, and typically full deco. But pretty nice. And suspension. And suspension. So rubber tires. This is kind of a cool find. This is a cool car. This is, you can come across this at Walmart currently, I believe, still. So look out for it there if you do want a copy for yourself. And then we've got Porsche 911 Carrera S. This was probably going to be at more people's alleys than the previous cars. This is a current release, and it's a Porsche 911 Carrera, and it is in kind of a cool color. I kind of think I may have this one already somewhere, but that's the other thing. I don't really keep track of these, so sometimes I will buy duplicates, and then I'll open them, and then I'll have 2 loose ones. I mean, whatever. This one has opening doors and an opening frunk, which I think the opening frunk is kind of pointless because there's just nothing there to look at, right? You're opening it for what? To see a small luggage compartment. Kind of goofy. The opening doors, you know, some people are a fan of those. I'm not a huge fan of those in 1/64 scale. However, I think they did do this pretty well. One thing you do typically find with Majorette is it's not 1/64 scale very often. Usually it's like 1/60th scale or somewhere around there. And this one, and they do usually tell you the scale on the bottom. So this is 1/60th. So usually they are slightly bigger than 1/64. From what I've found, that is typically the case. But here is the Majorette Porsche. This is the coolest one probably in the whole video. It might be, but you guys will let me know. So there's Majorette that you can find today, okay? Majorette did try to break into the U.S. Somewhat, a few times, right? They've been available at U.S. like retailers. Not just the once, not just now with Walmart and Jada Toys importing them. They were available at Toys R Us at one point recently, and this would be an example of those. Now, I'm kind of torn on whether I should open these. I'm pretty sure I've got both of these. We've got a Ford Mustang and a Bentley Continental GT V8, but I think what I am going to do is I am going to open them, and if I find out I have them, then they're going to go into my son's collection. So let's just go ahead and do that. Here's your Bentley Continental. Ooh, wow. Little quality control issue up there. So these were available, likely they were available internationally as well as they were available at Toys R Us, right before the downfall of Toys R Us in the U.S. It's kind of unfortunate. They came with this little thing here for what series. This is Series 2. And it tells you what was all available in the series. So we had a Dodge Viper, a Golf, a Camaro, a Jaguar, Range Rover, the Bentley. So that'll tell you what was the 6 cars in the series. I do like that it came with that. I think that is a cool ad. I don't know if this is just dirt on here or if it's actually, oh, that seems to be just dirt. Although that's very dirty. Opening doors on this casting, which you'll find with these were sold, at the time they did not do very well. And I think part of the reason is just the cost. So these were selling for around, I think, $3.50 each. And people really didn't consider them as much more than a mainline Hot Wheel. And I can understand that. But you do get kind of a full detailed deco. You do get opening doors with most of the models. And you do have plastic tires, though. And I think that's why. The wheels can really make or break a car. And I think for Majorette, that's been their weak point for a very long time, up until recent. Now Majorette wheels are starting to look good. Back in this Toys R Us era, which I don't know if there's a date on the back of here. If I can try to date it, I will. I'm trying to think of when they came into Toys R Us. I want to say like 2016, something along the lines of 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. Maybe even 2018. Anyway, somewhere around there, right before Toys R Us collapsed, basically, in the U.S. But there's your Bentley Continental. So the deal is the wheels were ugly. Let me grab this Mustang, Ford Mustang here. This is from a different set. This was Racing Cars Series 2. So there's your Mustang, and I guess it's got a number on it, so we're going to call it a race car. That's basically what that is. And here is a different models. It had a Lamborghini in there that was kind of ugly. I have that one, I think, and I think the wheels, again, really kind of made it look ugly. So here's this one. And again, weird package rub on the top of this. This one does not have any opening parts. It's got the suspension. So you can see they are a little bit more than main lines, but I don't think people really thought these were exciting, that the castings they brought over were exciting, and that, I mean, they were hot for like a second, and then they were peg warmers forever. I just don't think they made the right choices for what cars to bring over, and they should have updated their wheels prior to bringing them to the U.S. for that time, that round, anyway. Mercedes AMG GT premium cars, pretty cool casting this one is. And they did kind of have chases, and we'll get into that in a second. So here's this. So they were trying to pander, I guess, to the U.S. market a bit. But I'm telling you, these wheels are what really, I think, killed it for Majorette. So you got detail up front, detail on the back. This would be a good casting choice, I would argue, to bring to market here. But again, you know, the wheels being what they are, they're uglier than mainline Hot Wheels wheels in most cases, and I think that really had an effect. Opening doors are cool too, but again, the gaps in the doors. These are almost like Matchbox moving parts quality, except they have suspension, so that maybe puts them a step above. But again, it's all about the casting choices and if they're going to be desirable here. Here's the other vehicles that were available in that set. I believe, I know I have the Porsche, the green Porsche, I'm pretty sure. I probably have that Audi. Not entirely sure, but there you go. There's those. I'm going to set that aside. We'll keep looking at these Toys R Us ones until we've exhausted those, and we'll move into the other stuff that gets a little bit older. All right, Ford F-150. Again, you're like, okay, well, that'd be popular in the U.S. maybe. People drive these. These are a popular vehicle to buy. It's in the Premium Car Series 1, and the bad thing about that is when they say premium, it like made no difference compared to the premium, to the deluxe, to the racing. They all seem to be about the same quality. So that, I think, kind of threw the American customer for a little bit of a loop as well. So I think there are many reasons why these things flopped. The GTR, the Nissan GTR, that one's sold. And that casting still gets used a lot today. I know I have it. I know I have that one. I'm not sure. I think I have the Huracan too. I may have all of these, actually. I'm not sure, including this one. But here's the Ford F-150 from Series 1. Premium model Series 1. Has an opening hood. And check that out. I mean, it's a decent version of this Ford. You really can't, complain about it. Even the wheels, I guess, for this kind of fit this truck. It's not bad. Scale-wise, it's 172 scale. So again, Majorette's almost considered what they call a 3-inch model, right? Everything is about the same size, the same length, regardless of what car it is pretty much what it is. It doesn't matter what car it is. They're all going to be just about the same. At least they were. Oh, yeah, they are. I mean, they're all pretty close to about the exact same length, and that's because they're a 3-inch model, and then the scale is just a consequence of that, is what it seems anyway. Matte finish with a little metal flake matte, which is kind of interesting. Ford F-150, you know, it's boring, but I kind of appreciate it now. More than I did then, I will say. All right, then we got this one in the Vision Gran Turismo set. This is the Nissan, and I'm pretty sure I did not have this one. But again, these were available at Toys R Us. I don't know what other retailer, if there was any other retailer, I am not familiar with what it was. Let's see what else was in this series, because I do not really remember. Kind of, in retrospect, kind of some cool stuff in the Vision series. You had a Mitsubishi Concept, an Alpine Vision Gran Turismo, a Mercedes-Benz AMG Vision, Infiniti Concept, this Nissan Concept, and a Peugeot Concept. Might have slept on these, and these might have been kind of cool. Yeah, the wheels though. The wheels just kind of like, and the stance and wheels, man, will just kill you. It just will. This car doesn't look too bad. These particular castings lack suspension. They do not have the suspension base. This wheel's not too bad, I guess, for this car, but the wheels look small for the wheel well, which I guess could be a detriment to the look of the casting. Kind of an interesting concept car, though. It's got some GTR vibes to it, especially that kind of front end and the headlights. But kind of interesting. Maybe it would have been cool to have the full set. The Peugeot looks pretty cool. The Mercedes looks kind of cool. I mean, even the Infiniti looks, I mean, they all look kind of cool. Maybe I should have got this whole set when it came out, and I did not. I don't think I bought any of them. But again, at like $4 a pop or whatever they were, I'm like, why should I buy these when I have Hot Wheels? It's kind of with the way I thought, and they weren't like premium like Greenlight or Johnny Lightning or Auto World. So I was like, you know, are these really worth it? Some of them may have been. All right, Racing Cars Series 2, Porsche 918 Spyder. This is a nice casting from Majorette. Let's get the little pamphlet out. See what else was available. Oh, is this, we already looked at this one, didn't we? Yeah, it's the one with the Mustang in it. So, I already looked at that one. And I'm pretty sure I've got this car. I'm almost positive. I'm going to have to look for it, but again, if I do, this will end up on at my local meet for sale, and probably no one will buy it. Or it will end up in my son's collection. He might like it. He may not. I don't know. He's not really into Porsches too much. He really likes Lamborghinis and Corvettes for some reason. Here, we've got scale-wise, this is 161 scale. Yeah, decent look for the car. Not a bad one. No suspension on that model. All right, last one for our, we'll call it the Toys R Us series. We've got this Audi A1, and I believe this one was hard to find. I want to say they kind of tried to do a chase thing, and there was like the cases were big. I don't remember exactly how many cars were in each case, maybe like 36 or something like that. But there was always one car that there was only one of in the case, and the other ones were duplicated. So if you think about it, if you have 6 cars in a set, and let's say it's a case of 36, you can imagine that, you know, the majority of them, so 35 of them, so each one of these, there were 6 different ones in it, right? It's 35, 7 times 5 is 35, right? So if there was a case of 36, there was one of these, and then there was 7 of each of the other models in the case. So chase-ish, right, was this. I believe that was the case for this. Some cool cars, by the way, in this particular set. You got that Lamborghini Gallardo. The Ford Fiesta looks cool with like a rally livery. And then that Golf looks pretty cool. The Porsche is cool. This is a pretty decent set, and you got that Camaro up there. I don't know what I've got and what I've not. Again, I'm going to have to look prior to figuring out what I'm keeping and what I'm not. But this is kind of neat. It's in a racing livery. It's got a opening door. But again, I don't think very exciting for, you know, who was buying Diecast at that time. It just really didn't work, and it flopped. And again, the sets being only 6 cars and then having like 7 of each one on there didn't create any exclusivity except for the so-called chases. So, you know, it just, I don't think they were marketed very well either. It just, yeah, I mean, I could have predicted it wasn't going to do well. And, you know, I'm not a super Mr. Businessman, but I could tell right away. I'm like, you know, I was excited for him because I'm like, oh, it's another option, right? And I'm always into that. I'm like checking out a new Diecast brand or whatever, a brand I don't have a lot of, or I only had old ones of, and they got new ones. Yada, yada, yada. However, no. That's that. All right, now we're going to look at this Majorette collection. Now, I have no idea when or where these would have came out. No clue. I believe I got these from my buddy Jay, where I get a lot of my weird stuff from. So these came in boxes, obviously. Generic boxes. They don't tell you the name of the car on the box. This one's obviously an Audi, but Quattro. But They were licensed and all that jazz. I don't know where these were sold. These might have been sold in the U.S. I'm pretty sure they probably were. But, again, not aware of what retailer may have carried them. And this casting's wild. All right, so this is an Audi Quattro, or TT, whatever. It's in 1/53rd scale, so way, 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 way big, right? Way bigger than 1/64, but again, it kind of follows that 3-inch. It's a little bit bloated, but it's especially bloated this way. No opening features on this one. No real detail on it either, other than the Audi portion up here, which is actually plastic and is part of the interior, and then these headlights, which are plastic and are part of the window piece. But no actual printing or graphics on it. This one, it does have suspension. Rolls pretty nice. It's just large, it's blobby looking, and I don't think it really does the real car any justice. Probably going to be the same with this bloated thing here. So let's get this one open. This is, what is this? This is another Audi? Yeah, it's another Audi. This is the Audi TT convertible, so top-down version. Again, same deal, except this one actually has painted taillights. And maybe this one does, but you just can't tell because the car's red and it's the same color. Same ugly wheels, though, right? Ugly wheels, ugly stance, bloated appearance. Doesn't really look great, okay? It just doesn't. I don't know what year these things came out. We can attempt to figure that out. The packaging is in multiple languages under here. It says it's produced by Majorette, Thailand. Copyrights are on here, but I don't see any actual date. And the majority of the language, like English, is not the first language listed on here. Except for the warning part of it. So, I don't know. I mean, there's no date. I can't really tell you. We might be able to tell you, is there a date on the bottom as far as the copyright date for the tooling? There is not. So, I can't tell you when these came out. Someone else will know and probably will comment. You guys in the comments are, again, I've said this a few times, but you guys are smarter than me when it comes to diecast history sometimes, and you guys add a lot of value when you comment about these cars that I'm not familiar with. So this is, apparently, it appears it's from like the same series, but I can tell right off the bat that these are probably going to be older toolings. Just by the design philosophy of them, and they got different wheels. These actually look pretty good. This is a BMW M3, looking for a date. It's in 1/59 scale. I'm sure this original casting probably had a metal base when they originally put it out. This one's got suspension, decently detailed interior. Again, no graphics on it whatsoever, just whatever they were able to create with pieces. And that's why you have, as you can see, the headlights up there are part of the window piece that comes down. And obviously I'm not going to take it apart to prove that, but you can see it actually in there. That goes up. So decent. I mean, the car looks fairly proportionate. It's not the greatest BMW M3 I've ever seen, but it's kind of cool. And then we've got another BMW here in a box, and this is another BMW M3, but look, that's what they like to do. Apparently we get hardtop convertible. So there you go. And again, no graphics. This, except for, actually, this is a graphic up front. So the Beamer logo is a graphic. It's not on the, they didn't put it on the red one, but they put it on the silver one, which is kind of interesting. Opening doors on this model. So this one's got some extra stuff. We got scratches on the top from it banging around in the packaging. So you got to take your cars out of the package and put them in your own packaging if you want to store them, because that happens quite often. old stuff. I mean, you got to understand this stuff's been banging around a package for probably a long time. I'm going to guess these may be around 25 years old at least, and that puts them in 2000 only. I mean, they're probably even older than that, you know. But I don't know. I can't tell you because there's no date on these things, and I have no clue, and I'm not well versed in when these came out or what retailers they were available at. So someone's going to have to help me out in that regard. All right, we got 2 more. These are older. All right, and interesting too. Majorette Special Forces. Look at this thing. I don't even know what it is. We're going to take a peek look. Take a peek look. You can tell that this one is more not made for U.S. market just because of the fact it's got Series 220 on it. And English is not the first language here. There are multiple languages. And I don't even think English is on it really at all, except for where it says Special Forces. I'm looking for a year, and I'm going to guess 1991. So, based on what I'm seeing on the back, now I don't know that for sure. So this one, we get 2 little plastic army dudes, or Special Forces dude. One guy just pointing a firearm, and the other guy that looks like he's throwing some sort of grenade. With a firearm on his back, and then this is our little Special Forces, whatever this is. Is this a license model? It probably is made after some sort of military truck. Someone again who's an aficionado of that kind of stuff will likely be able to tell me. It's weird because, okay, so this gun articulates up like this, but it's supposed to swing. Oh, there it goes. All right, I just had to get it loose. And now it swings side to side. I think it had to break free of like flashing to get it loose. Maybe I should have left it. It would stay straight. This one's got suspension. I don't know what the deal is with this. Weird thing here. Is that supposed to be there or is that supposed to break off? I have no idea. Is that supposed to be like an antenna? I have no clue. Kind of an interesting model, right? Plastic base. It's riveted together. It's got suspension. These Majorette wheels do not bother me. I think they're kind of cool, actually. Very much indicate the sign of the time. It rolls super nice. No idea what it really is. Somebody will probably tell us, but I don't know what it is, but still really cool. All right, and then lastly, we got the Road Eaters. Majorette bonus coupon enclosed. Look at that. This is the 200 series. This appears to be made for U.S. market. Campbell's, Swanson, Kids SpaghettiOs. Copy date 1992. Well, check that out. Collect them all. They had Campbell's Soup, Dinosaur Vegetable, Curly Noodle, Teddy Bear, Superstar, Swanson Kids Fun Fast, Larry Lion, Tommy Tiger, Barney Bear, Sammy Shark, Frito-Lay Cheetah. Look at the licensing that they had to get for this. SpaghettiOs, Willy Wonka, Nerds, Gobstoppers, blah, 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 blah. Creamy Peanut Butter, Peter Pan. All right. Diet Pepsi. Just crazy. Road Eaters, just for kids. We'll say it's not really. We got the Gobstopper Lamborghini Diablo, and we've got the Runts panel truck thing. Ford Model A. So 1/60th scale, no suspension, Willy Wonka brand Runts, the OG Runts. And then we've got, it's going to be funny. I bet you that is it. Yeah, it is. Okay, I knew it. All right, and then Gobstoppers. This is why I got this. This is for the Lamborghini Diablo. I kind of collect this casting. These are the weird fat wheel Majorette castings from, I guess, back in the early 90s, we'll call it. Late 80s, early 90s. And we got a Gobstoppers Diablo. These are wild. These wheels are kind of cool, though. I do like them. I don't like that they stick out. It reminds me of the game Bump and Jump. If you guys ever played that, an old car game. Bump and Jump, where you top-down vision of the car, and you can see the tires sticking out. It's just kind of goofy graphics and whatnot. And yes, the coupons are for 25 cents off. It expired in December 31st of 1993. 25 cents off with purchase of candy. Look at that. And then 25 cents off another one. So you got 2 coupons to get a quarter off of a box of candy or whatever they were. How cool. All right. What do you guys think about Majorette as a whole? You guys interested in them at all? I think they're cool. They're quirky. They're fun. They're cool to look at. The new ones at Walmart, I think they're kind of going in the right direction. They just need to release them a little bit faster, I think, with more new models and stuff. And I think they will do better. But, oh, you know, I almost forgot. I forgot one. Oh, shoot. Sorry, last one. Punch Buggy. So this is also somewhat current, but I did find it at Ollie's. These kind of flopped, I think, at Walmart, mostly because they're all like the same castings. They're all Volkswagens. They're listed as Jada, but I believe these are all Majorette toolings. And they are, that's Majorette tooling, released by Jada. And here's your VWT3. And it's pretty cool. This one's got a sliding door. That opens. That opens. That opens. That wants to open, and it doesn't want to open. Well, it's supposed to open. My particular model is not wanting to open. But yeah, I don't know. That's supposed to open, and I don't really care. We're going to leave it shut. Anyway, good version of this, I think. I think it's pretty cool. Got suspension and all that. Yeah, pretty neat. All right. It was at Ollie's for $3, so whatever. We got it. All right, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below as usual. Thank you very much for watching another episode. This will be in the Majorette playlist. If you want to see any other Majorette content, that's where you should go. Check out my playlist for other stuff. It's pretty well categorized, somewhat well anyway. So check that stuff out and like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Nice long video. You guys let me know what you think about Majorette in general. I appreciate reading the comments, and thank you very much. Have a good day.